Hey, so if you know nothing about pistols, the 1911 pistol was entering service in 1911. That's why it's called that. So this is a very old design. It's still very popular today. It was designed by John Browning, and this is to fulfill the U.S. Army's requirement to start replacing their revolvers. They started looking in the late 1890s, and John Browning came up with this design, and it's great. I actually do own one of these in real life. It's just not in the country I live in. So this is a toy by Model Toy Handicraft. Although the AliExpress listing doesn't say the brand, it just says 1/3 keychain pistol. So I'll find a link for you guys. What's cool about this one is it has these brass rounds that it can actually eject. It obviously doesn't shoot anything, but it ejects the rounds and goes through the cycling action. So that's kind of neat. Alright, so it's a pistol that's been around for over a century. Many variations, I don't know. This looks like a plain one to me. Let's just try to find an image. Oh, here's just a plain Jane government model, and it does look very much like that, right? The hammer, the back strap there, the shaping of the trigger guard. Yeah, the round mag release. Yeah, anyways. I don't know what one they modeled, but it looks like that photograph. Alright, let's see. So this is die-cast metal or some sort of metallic substance, the majority of it. The grips are plastic though, but nice texture on there. And you could replace them apparently. It's got Phillips screws there. The back here has got some diamond patterning there. And then the safety here doesn't move. It just looks like a separate piece, but it's really casted the same. The hammer, oh, it's plastic. That's unexpected. I would have thought that would be metal. So you don't want to probably do that too often because you'll probably snap it at some point. It looks like one of those nylon reinforced plastics, but still, that's gonna break probably. So having cocked that back, let me. Okay, so the trigger does work. It's kind of roughly finished, right? You got this round thing from the ejector pin pushing that out of the mold. The mag release, it definitely works. Okay, it's got a nice little texture like the real gun would have. I believe that's a safety as well, and that clearly works. Physically blocking that. The slide catch. Yeah, okay. And it's got a texture on it as well. So that's kind of neat. Wow, you can actually feel the momentum of that slide moving forward. The spring's really strong in this. Yeah, that actually has a sense of weight for sure. But yeah, the quality of this, not so great. This is really cheap though, so look at the extra metal. It reminds me of a Hot Wheels kind of, just the extra random metal and stuff like that. Alright, that's that side. Oh well, you got some serrations here to grab and cock that back. The sights have no indication of dovetail grooves. They're just molded in. Also, this sight has no notch in the rear, so that's pretty weak. Alright, can I squeeze this? Yeah, the trigger guard's big enough that you can still use a finger and activate it. Alright, so this side, the grip looks pretty good. Yeah, it's not any ambidextrous release. The pin here. There's some sort of pin there holding the insides together. And roughly finished again, this extra flash of where the two halves of the mold broke apart. It's also kind of strange, well, no, maybe that's not strange. The barrel, I just kind of expected to be flush or even sticking out a tiny bit, but not this gun. And I think this barrel's made of plastic as well. You can see it's very shallow. And then you got this thing here. Alright. Oh boy, look at that. Definitely looking rough. That is not nice. Yeah, I would have hoped that the barrel and the insides would have been metal too, but that's not the case on this thing. And that's probably why it was so cheap. You can clearly see here, the plastic here and some extra molding flash as well. Yeah, okay. And then let me get a flashlight. The ramp for the bullet is going to go into the chamber, it looks like. And maybe that's the ejector hook there. Alright. Look, I think there's metal back here in the back half of the chamber area. Alright, let's take a look at the magazine here and load it up. Alright, so it does have these holes to tell you how many, granted they're not open holes, but Such a, I think those might be hollow in a real gun to know how many rounds you have. So the spring on this isn't very strong, which is good. These look like the same bullets as the Beretta 92 I reviewed before. Okay. So naturally the bullets are not realistic looking. They have to have this big groove so that hook can grab it and eject it out of the pistol. I think you can also buy extra rounds separately if you lose these things. Okay, so that's neat. There's a little pin holding the spring and the mag plate in place. Yeah, but I'm not gonna bother. So it is single stack like a real gun. And you'll see that go up in here. Oh, I gotta actually actuate the mag release. Alright, so that's cool. Yeah, you can see those. So I'm gonna slide the action forward. There we go. Yeah, it did eject. It's just that I'm holding it the wrong way. So let me try this way. Yep, cool. Cool. And it's empty. Right. So that's really neat, I think. That you can fidget around and actually use the action. Very neat. Or if you think that's too dangerous, just put the safety on. Oh, but the safety doesn't stop the hammer from moving. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's look at some other pistols. Here's a Kimber 1911. Nice. This is quite small compared to this, so I do question which of these is to scale. Wikipedia says the standard 1911 is 216 millimeters length-wise, and so that if I divide by 3 is 72 millimeters. So let's see if this thing is too big. This is way too huge. This is 80 millimeters. Right, so this is way out of scale. It's not a third scale gun. This Kimber though probably is, because that's around 72 millimeters, right? So this is 1/3 scale. I don't know what the heck this is. This reminds me of the Beretta. Let me find that. Here we are. So the Beretta is huge as well. So these two, this brand, Model Toy Handicraft, it's something else. Maybe it's 2.5 scale. Oh, that's probably what it is. I think I've seen listings like that. No, it's not 2.5 scale because that would be 86.4 millimeters, and it's still off by a lot. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going for here, but these are simply in a different category compared to this one here, which is 1/3 scale. All right, so I'll leave those two there. Let me get the camera up here, get some more. So this Glock 17 by Yingtu. These are by Yingtu. This one as well. The Desert Eagle is a big gun in real life, so I think these are all 1/3 scale. These are different, and this is a plastic gun. I don't even know who made it, but yeah, it falls in line with 1/3 scale. So yeah, if you're going to be looking to collect these, there's going to be some deviation. It's almost like you want to have 2 display cabinets or drawers or whatever you want to do. Well, sadly it's not a 3rd scale, but still, it's pretty cool. My Lego Chief Wiggum approves of it. If you want a nice little fidget toy, yeah, this is neat. But if you're going to pick, a different, one or the other, I would recommend you go with the Yingtu one, those other 3 that I mentioned, because this thing has a lot of plastic in it. Right? The plastic barrel and the plastic hammer, they're just cheap. Whereas the other ones, right? This is a metal hammer, and the barrel is metal as well, right? So, and it costs around the same, I think. So you might as well just go with the other ones, I think. But if you want to have a variety in sizes and appearances, then go for this. But this is probably the worst one I have as far as this quality. All the weird seam lines, all the extra metal flash and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Thank you for watching. I'm going to collect some more of these little keychain guns, so we'll see you then. Bye.